My name is Carla de Guzman. I am a romance writer from the Philippines, and I don't know what this is. When you read romance, for some reason, like the number of books you read goes like exponentially higher. Like I don't remember reading this many books ever in my life, and people thought I was a reader. Girl, I wasn't a reader. I was just a casual person who liked to read until now, because this year I read 70-ish plus books, and I'm so proud of it. So proud of it, in fact, that I thought I would make a list of the top 10, in no particular order, top 10 books that I read this year. So, things you gotta know. First, all of these books are romance. If you're looking for like fic recs or like literary fic or anything, no, I'm sorry. This here is a romance reader. Like, I'm a romance reader, so we only read romance. All happy endings, because that's what we do. This is in no particular order, only because I cannot be bothered to list them in particular order. Okay, let's go. First is The Kiss Quotient by Helen Hoang. Okay, I cannot talk about this book enough. It is so good. It blew me away when I read it. It's like, it was so sexy, so fun. It hits you right in the heart, because Stella and Michael, you just want them to get together. Like, guys, you're so cute. And it's basically Stella hires Michael, who is an escort, to teach her how to have sex, how to have a boyfriend, all of that. And I'm like, you know, when your guy is like a Daniel Henney lookalike, it's not hard. It's not hard to fall in love with him. Like, just want to give him a hug. You want to give them both a hug. So, super love The Kiss Quotient. Should be on everyone's list. You should have read this by now. Yes. I haven't read this particular edition of the book. I read this in ebook form, but I've heard a lot of good things about the audiobook. So, if I get the chance to borrow that from my overdrive, I will do it. I will do it. Yeah. The next book that I have in my top 10 reads of 2018 is Wrong to Need You by Alisha. Now, this is the second book in the Forbidden Hearts series, but this is my favorite. It's super dramatic. There's just so much. The backstory between these characters is just so good. And Alisha, oh my god, this is probably like the hottest book I read this year. Yeah. There's a part somewhere in the middle where I just had to put it down, and I was like, oh, whew, all right, hang on, just hang on. So I did, and I got this print copy because I just love this book so much. And again, I haven't read this print copy. I read it in an ebook form. So yeah, so my thing now is like, I read books on ebook first, and then if I find it, which is so rare, I try to buy it. So that's why I have this gorgeous front copy of Alisha book. The next book that I want to talk about is The Governess Game by Tessa. This is the second book in her Girl Meets Duke series, and I got this particular version, this Mills and Boon edition of the book in Australia when I bought my other print copies, because you don't get this gorgeous goldness where I'm from. So I just spent the money. I felt like it. I honestly keep telling people that the first book, The Duchess Deal by Tessa, is one of the funniest books I've ever read. The Governess Game, second book in the series, and what I love about this book is that it has a mestiza heroine. So the main character, Alexandra Mountbatten, is actually half Filipina. Yeah, represent. I love the way she like does pros and cons by counting things out. I love the way she loves astronomy. She just knows things. Like, I can barely remember like where the North Star is, but she knows them all. And her story just so amazing. And the main character, I mean the love interest, Chase Reynaud. Oh my god, he's so messed up, but he's just so cute. Like, there's the thing here is that Chase is in charge of 2 young children, and every morning they have a funeral for a doll, which it's not spoilery, it's adorable. And every morning he holds their hands. Just imagine a huge man hand holding a baby's hand. Oh, like I said, I have a thing about like single parents, and this is one of my favorites for the year. I did read, this is the version I read when the book came out. I read maybe half on ebook, and then I got this and I finished here. So it's got little dents in it, but I love this so much. Love it so much. The next book is one of the best books I've ever read. So I read it, I loved it, I got my own copy. So this is my own copy of A Princess in Theory by Alyssa Cole. This is the first book in her Reluctant Royal series. This book is also quite hilarious. It starts out with the most scam sounding Nigerian prince email, and it goes on and on, like, I implore you to respond to my email. And then this guy just shows up next door and he's like, what? He doesn't know how to do life. He doesn't know how to do life. And the lady's just like, oh my god, you are so cute, but oh, what a fail. And then it turns out that he's the prince of the kingdom of Tesolo, and she was actually destined to marry him. What? I know, it's amazing. And this is my own copy. I haven't read this copy, but I did read Chachik's copy of Princess in Theory. So if you haven't read it, pick it up. Okay, so these next these next books, you'll see covers coming from my Kindle, mostly because I almost exclusively now read on my, and when I'm not reading on my Kindle, I'm listening with an audiobook. I love these books equally as much as I love the print books that I have. It's just that this is what I have access to. So anyway, the next book on our list is Rafe by Rebekah Weatherspoon. Now, look at him. Look at him. Now, when I first saw this cover on Twitter, I was like, girl, okay, I want to read it. I want to read it. There was like, look at him. And I love that on the cover, there's like this little note thing that says, gimme, people you know on Twitter. She just knows it. Rebekah knows it so well. Dr. Sloan is a really kick-ass surgeon, and she has these twins that need a babysitter, and in comes Rafe. He is super qualified for the job. He's a man, but everyone's like, okay, you can do this, yeah. And I've read quite a few male nanny books, and I don't think they did it quite as well as Rebekah did. And it's mostly because I feel like she was very careful about how she wrote Rafe. Rafe is like my ultimate man. Yeah, he's my ultimate man. He's caring, he's big and strong, but he doesn't have to like push it. He's just there. He's just a really warm, comfortable presence. And when Dr. Sloan starts, seeing that, like, I was also like, So it was really fun seeing the two of them like fall in love, and you just really wanted to go like, you go girl, you go girl. And she did. She went there, and I had a lot of fun, and it's definitely one of my favorites of this year. This next book on my list, I almost forgot that I read this, which, does that make it the best? It still makes it the best. I'm just very forgetful. Okay, so I had to consult my Goodreads list again, and then I saw this. I'm like, oh yes, okay, this has to be on my list. So this is Speak Easy, Speak Love by McKelle George. I don't remember how I came across this book. Probably recommended by Chachik. She always recommends things to me. Anyway, this is a Much Ado About Nothing retelling set in the 1920s Depression era. So, what happens is Beatrice and Benedict run a secret speakeasy in the basement of Beatrice's house, and it's amazing. It's just so well written. Like, okay, the thing with Much Ado About Nothing retellings is that the whole hero Claudio plot point is like so not easy to write in any century, but the book did it so well. And if you have a chance to read it, I would definitely recommend reading it. If you're a fan of Much Ado About Nothing, my favorite Shakespeare play of all time, you should definitely pick it up. The next book that I'm going to talk about just came out last October, and it's recent, but it's honestly one of my favorite reads of the entire year, and it's Mango Summer by Agay Llanera. You know those books that you just read it and you feel it in your soul? Like, Agay's writing does that to me. She's brilliant. Like, okay, the book starts off with the main character, Fiona. That's Fiona. She goes to the field, holding some of the first mangoes of that year's harvest. And the way Agay describes picking up a mango, opening it and eating it, it sounds like something so simple, but it's so beautiful. The way you kind of anticipate, like, okay, is this mango going to be sweet? She gets it. She just captures it beautifully. And one of the things I love about this book is the hero, G-Boy. Yeah, G-Boy. He's just one of the most supportive love interests that I've ever read. He just really wants Fiona to be happy. I feel like he would do anything for her, and that's why I love him. So please, if you can, please pick up a copy. I really want it. Like, I am thinking about getting a copy for every woman in my life. It's that good. It's that amazing. So the next book on my list is an anthology that came out in January of this year. This is Start Here by 10 different authors. And I love the idea of this anthology. It's so simple, but it's so effective. So these are all LGBTQIA stories by different authors. And the thing is, all of these books have to have a happy ending. I know it's such a simple premise, but it works so well. So it's short. It's called Start Here, Short Stories of First Encounters. And the stories in this anthology, also amazing. I would definitely, first of all, I would recommend reading Shipping Included by Denise Season. It's so funny. It's because the premise of that is like, just imagine two titos falling in love at a K-pop concert. That's all you need to know. I also loved Lemon Drop Friday by Bridge Bautista. Again, Bridge is another one of those authors that make me laugh, make me cry, make me want to read more. And I can't believe it's just a short story. Bridge, I need more. Like, where is more? And we also have In the Moonlight by Agay Llanera. I've talked about Agay already. I would also recommend reading Gorgeous by Motsi Dapol. And some of these authors don't have full books yet. Where are your full books, guys? Well, Denise, yours is coming out like really soon. And Ben, oh my god, I forgot to talk about Ben. The Other Story by H. Bentham. It is so sexy, girl. It is so sexy and so hot. But you should read it. It's amazing. Ben, come on. Where's your novel, girl? Where? I need it. So, yeah, please pick up a copy of Start Here. It's great. And one of my favorites this year, and it's Project Saving Noah by Six de los Reyes. Now, first of all, let's talk about this guy. Noah just fits the bill. Look at him. It's just so cute. And I love, okay, first of all, people say that Project Saving Noah is different because Noah is actually the lead character. And I kind of agree. This book is definitely more centered around Noah's story, what he's going through, how he feels. But I also love the character of Lise Maitner. She has touch aversion, which is a very it's not something you read a lot, but the way Noah treats Lise, very gentle, very careful. I mean, he teases her a lot, but you kind of understand that it's just playful and sweet. Everyone who's read this book really loves like the first sentence. It goes, "There was a half-naked guy rising out of the ocean." Noah rises from the ocean. The very first scene, it's Noah rising from the ocean, already half naked, dripping wet. You know what this book is going to be like. So yeah, this is definitely another book that you should pick up. So well written. And if you're from the Philippines, this book is also available as a print copy if you order from romanceclassbooks.com or from the author herself, Six de los Reyes. I'm cheating for this last one, and I don't actually have a copy of these books. I don't. I borrowed these books from the library when I read it. I borrowed them from Overdrive, and I don't have a copy. But that doesn't mean I don't love it. It just means I don't have a copy yet. But this is the Hidden Legacy series by Ilona Andrews. And I know this series has been around since forever, but oh my goodness, it's so good. The reason why I read it is because of Chache. She has the greatest recommendations, and this is one of my favorite recommendations from her. And our conversation was something like, I was complaining about how I hate slow burn. Please don't come for me. I don't like slow burn books. Anyway, she was telling me, you know, there's this series, this urban fantasy series that is so great at slow burn, and you won't mind the slow burn because so many things are happening while the slow burn is happening. I'm like, okay, let's see. So I read the first book, and then I was like, wow, amazing. Nevada is one of the most badass characters of all time. Like, and just the way Ilona and Gordon Andrews, if you didn't know, Ilona and Gordon just wrote how her character progressed from like a detective who's just trying to keep her family alive to this super powerful woman who just wants to keep her family alive. And Rogan is so complicated. He's also so strong, and he's also so cute, and he's also really teasing. Like, the banter is so real. And okay, he starts by kidnapping her, which is not a common, that's not something that we really like, but it's just done so well. And I love the family. I love the Baylor family. It's like your own family, except you're reading about them in a book. Just the way that Ilona Andrews and Gordon Andrews wrote this entire series is so well thought out, so well planned, and it still manages to be like incredibly relatable, because at the very heart of this story is, you know, the Baylor family, who always want to stay together, who always have to work to keep the family together. And I say it's a romance mostly because it's still very much centered around Nevada and Rogan's love story. So again, one of my favorite romances that I read this year, Hidden Legacy series. Pick it up. It's only 3 books, 3.5, because there's a novella out, and Sapphire Flames is the next book. It's coming out next year. Just gonna take forever, but you know, we can wait. We're patient. We can wait. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay. So those are all of my favorite books of 2018, and thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please let me know if you want me to do more of these weird experiments, because I had fun. Books that are coming out next year, the things that writers are doing, I am so excited, and I can't wait to start reading. And I'll see you then. Again, my name is Carla de Guzman. I'm a romance writer. If you want to follow me on Twitter, my Twitter name is @Carla K. de Guzman. It's also the same for my Instagram. And I'll see you soon. Bye.